let's have the roll call, please.
Okay, Dahlia.
Present.
Nancy.
Here.
Andy.
Here.
Clarence. Dominique. Daisy. Faye. Alasia. Oh, that's nice that they're on there. And Deb, yes, I'm here. And Michael.
Oh.
And Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
And Laura's here. I'm just going to put you on the bottom. How you doing, Laura?
Good. How are you?
So, oh no, he's not non-voting. Darn.
Maybe Clarence will show up.
Yes. Laura Henderson and Shelley Deutscher.
Okay.
Deutscher or Deutsch?
D-E-U.
E-R?
T-S-C-H-E-R.
Deutscher, okay.
Deutscher.
All of a sudden I thought it was just Deutsch from but okay.
That would be real German.
So who has an opinion on this? So we don't appear to have a quorum, but we only have 8 members. So we have 4 out of 8. Is that a quorum or not? It has to be more than half?
Has to be more than half.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have a quorum today due to a last-minute person that's backing out. Well,
yeah, maybe someone will tune in.
Clarence or Faye might still come.
Yeah, if Clarence or Faye come in. Then.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have minutes from January since our February meeting, I guess, was canceled due to horrible weather.
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
So January's minutes have not been approved yet. Of course, now we cannot approve of them, but if anybody wants to recall the January meeting and make any changes or additions, if you would just let me know, that would be great.
Is Jack E? Is that really a name? E-S?
Where's that?
It's on the first page under F.
Nope, it's Eskin. I think she was just kind of writing this as she was doing it. So Eskin. I will correct that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I skimmed right over that.
Coastal is a little bit misspelled. I'll fix that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it means where it says we did get into the IU First Resilience Cohort at January 16th at 9 a.m. I'm not sure what that means exactly, unless it just means that we are in the cohort.
Where are you looking?
I'm on the second page under H. Quite interesting outline.
I think there's probably like the first webinar maybe.
Oh, maybe.
First webinar is that day, maybe.
Okay. Okay, so take out the word
I'm just gonna
first.
add
IU Resilience Cohort.
right.
Period, and then first webinar on January 16th at 9 a.m.
Okay, I reached out to Clarence also.
Oh, just now? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I think that's not how you spell Sasha, but I think it's with an E at the end. But you might as well just put her whole name there. Sasha G. Burns.
D-G-E-E.
I think it's S-A-C-H-E.
No, it's A.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely is A.
Okay.
S-A-C-H-A.
On the third page, they have a 2,000 water tank they can ...
Use for watering.
Okay.
2,000 gallon water tank.
Yeah, they had to get their CDL licenses to use them. I think she was saying.
Is there something I don't have?
Oh, did you get the...
Minutes?
Did you get minutes? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And then I gave you, a couple of
I wasn't here, so I'm not going to be.
Also, Andy's name is misspelled on the last page. I saw that.
Thank you.
And
My
on the
German is
front-
good enough that there's no JH.
And on the front page, it's A-N-D-Y instead of A-N-D.
It's all right. We'll go through. Okay, those are just like kind of typos. But yes. Resilience. Okay.
So in city council person, she probably means Michael, right?
I don't.
So on the, third page?
Yes.
Near the top? So,
Were you here at my January meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we did that exercise downtown?
No, this is our just regular meeting, not the.
Oh, no.
oh, maybe someone was just talking about you.
Johnny Stimley is
Oh,
The
Stimley
retreat.
was working on that. All right.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
he
she
still
just.
is.
Okay. Oh yeah, for the that's right.
For the zoo.
I think that was something that Jessica talked about because Jessica was here, so she talked about
yeah.
that initiative. So yeah, so we'll just put Stimley down. All right. Okay. Well,
I wasn't here. When was the other one?
a lot of
Oh, I
stuff.
guess I was there. Okay.
All right, so I'll keep these under advisement until next. I'll make the corrections in the next meeting.
Try again.
Or if somebody shows up, we have a quorum, we can approve these minutes. So they're on hold for now. All right. Okay, student commissioner assignments. So I have passed out a sheet to everybody because I just had no response. Yes.
I just want to see if I could add to the agenda. I'm sorry. I want to add this item of the city council resolution, which is the reason that Shelley came tonight.
Under new business.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Do we have to vote on that? I guess we do. All in favor of
Sure.
adding it to the agenda?
Approve the agenda. Well, it doesn't matter if we vote if there's no quorum.
So we're putting it on.
All
right.
Sorry.
Okay, so this next order of business we'll have to take care of once we have a quorum. But the two students that are on that sheet of paper I passed out, they have not been here for, I didn't count up exactly the days, but probably 6 months minimum. So they have not shown up or told me they can't make it. See, there's like a provision that if you don't show up, you have to let someone know. So, I put the ordinance wording down. It says they can be removed for non-attendance, basically.
Successive meetings.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming that they're no longer on there. I'll send them a little note saying, looks like you're no longer interested or whatever, but I'm having real trouble getting schools to respond to me. They don't maybe know me personally or something. Because the only response I got for our workshop is that you're not allowed to use the building. So that is the only thing they told me. So so I don't know how to get the schools engaged. It would be really nice. I don't know if there's a club in the school that would be kind of like career oriented or something, because it's just a good experience for them, and we do want their voice. So
Absolutely.
I'll try to talk to Victoria Gray out there. Who's
At the high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, get a
asking for
personal
help for
connection.
student commissioners. I mean, they're not a voting member, but I would like their participation, especially with planning things going ahead here.
Marquette has appointed a student. Her name is Olivia, and that's all I have. I work through Edwin Shelton,
Oh, good.
the art teacher there.
Great.
We have a name, but we don't have a full
Olivia.
name. We don't have contact information. So I will make a phone call to the school and get that information.
Thank you. That would be great. And then, if Deb
Email,
can work on the high school.
email, phone
An email, a
number.
non-school email, so it won't,
Okay, non-school email.
Right, because the school email is usually block.
And is that the only thing you need then?
That would be, right.
Okay.
I think that would be sufficient. All right, so
Okay.
again, we'll probably have to vote on this next. I mean, I don't even know if we need to vote on it. Do we need to vote on it? I mean, I'm just going to let you know that I'm removing them. I don't think we have to
No,
vote.
it says
So I'm going to,
right
you know,
here.
for vacancy reasons, we're going to remove those, you know, 2 young ladies, and then we'll try to find some other people in the middle schools to help us out. All right, so that's that. Commission vacancy.
Hey, Claire's here. Yay, you made a quorum for us.
I gotta run though, so I'll come and vote and leave.
Okay.
So,
Good. This is
okay,
good timing.
so I make a motion, we accept the minutes.
With
Let's
those
pass
corrections.
With the
let's pass it
revisions.
to Clarence.
Do you want to look at the minutes?
He's,
We'll give him a minute to look at those. But do you want to present
We made a couple of
commission
corrections, I don't know,
and
just
then,
mostly spelling stuff.
commission
nothing-
vacancy?
Nothing
Yeah.
Do you want
substantive.
to talk about it?
because we'll need
Just
to
a
vote.
couple of,
Yes, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
finish the sentences.
So you want me to start talking about
Yeah.
that then?
That's
I'm
a
good with it,
spelling
so.
thing.
Okay, so Clarence says he's okay with the minutes.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as revised.
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved. So very good timing. We just talked about, we had two student commissioners who have not shown up for at least half a year. So I'm probably just going to have them removed and try to get them replaced. And I've been having trouble getting the schools to, you know, kind of actively look for a kid. So any input you have, that would be great. We seem to have one from Marquette now. Deb's going to work on the Michigan City High School and the 2 junior highs. It's a little harder, so we're working on it. Well, we have 1 junior high, so we have...
Yeah, as long as Daisy Lee comes, then
Yes.
her student
No,
is-
her student's been fine.
Yeah.
It's what school?
So we wanted one from
Nina
Barker. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a
Hanson.
commission vacancy.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's really important about the
Oh, yeah.
quorum is we have a commission vacancy. And Nancy, if you would like to talk about
Yes,
replacement for Larry Zimmer.
Yes, Laura Henderson. Spent a whole afternoon with us that Saturday when we did our workshop and offered a lot of good suggestions, and her group was delightful to work with her. Laura serves now on the Michigan City Tree Board. She's also president of the Potawatomi Audubon Society and comes to Green Drinks just about every single month, and just has been really active and involved in a lot of green efforts and initiatives in Michigan City. So I would like to recommend that we appoint her to the vacancy that we currently have.
So move.
All right. So second. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Can
so
she
moved.
start now?
Congratulations. We're starting now.
Excellent. Welcome aboard.
Yes, welcome. All right. Subcommittee reports, let's just go pretty briefly. If you have nothing to report, you know, that's understandable. It's been a pretty crazy couple of months, but I put Nancy down for carbon footprint because a couple of reasons. So Nancy, go ahead. Tell us what's going on.
I sat in on all of the webinars with IU Sustainability, I think except for one,
Great.
when I was on the road and could not dial in because of no Wi-Fi signal. It's hard for me to be able to summarize what those were about and what's happening. The thing I'm very clear on is that's how we would get our measures for the baseline carbon emissions inventory that we did. So anything we as a commission are doing, that's the measurement tool to measure our success in our movement forward. It appears to be extremely complicated, and I know Deb was in on one, if not a couple of those also. And I'll have to be honest, most of it just went over my head because it is a lot of numbers and a lot of statistics and a lot of vocabulary, quite honestly, that I'm not familiar with. So we sort of missed out by not getting an intern for this coming summer because that would have been our second step in the process. I am willing to make a phone call down to the coordinators at IU to see. Sometimes they don't get enough applications, and they're looking for additional cities to add on at the last minute. And I wanted to check with this group first, see if this is something that we're interested in still pursuing. And I believe the requirement was a $1,000 stipend, which I believe we got through NIPSCO last year,
Yeah,
if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. But that wasn't required. It was just very much encouraged. At the
Okay.
time, it was to increase our chances of getting
Okay.
the grant. But the other things that are required is that, somebody at the city would have to be, like supervising. And I don't know, and you could ask them, maybe they would be satisfied if we, as a commission, supervised the intern.
Okay.
Last time, it had to be an actual staff person. But, maybe not this time so much.
Because we've been around for close to a year now.
Well, and because really that intern last time really needed assistance in gathering all this data, and you really needed a staff person to help them connect with
Okay.
businesses and everything. Now it's developing a plan, and that's kind of more on us.
Right, and we have the data now.
Right.
So, okay.
So
And there is a ton of information on that. I don't know if you guys logged into that portal.
Yeah.
yes.
There's so much. It's too much information,
It is.
really. But there's a lot of help if you need it.
Yeah.
And I think our product is we have something that was due, if I'm not mistaken. Did you?
So
I did not see the last webinar because
Yeah.
I was overseas. I didn't
yeah.
see it.
So if you want to finish on your intern discussion, I'll let you know because I did do some stuff on that. So
I just want to be
but I
sure.
think-
I'm willing to make the phone call and make the ask, but I just want to be sure that this commission is behind us taking that next step.
I support it, and they know, because I have certainly expressed to them, like, oh my God, this is so much work, and they understand, they know, so they know that, we're going to struggle without an intern, and so maybe they'd be
Okay.
for it. So I certainly support that.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't cost us anything because we have no budget. So
Yeah,
but it would be.
Yeah.
Do we want to follow if we can have a stipend for the intern? I mean, money talks. So
Well,
that's,
that was what IU did, was they offered the stipend to the student.
I mean, 'cause-
So I don't know if they,
plus, it looks good on the resume. But if they're going to come
Yeah.
from a different city to come here, they need to have some kind of.
oh,
money.
right, that was the other thing, we had to find them housing.
So
So last year, that was part of that grant was that I used, I think it was $6,000 they got for the summer. And then when we found them housing, so AJ made some good friends. And
He did. He really
it was
did.
very sweet. But I don't know if anyone has any idea about that.
If it's a female, no problem.
Yeah.
Because Nancy Nichols, the pastor of the
It's just her
Methodist
house
Church, her house has put all that
Oh,
together.
excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent.
So we have a place for a female
Okay.
intern.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if, they still have any money left to pay the stipend or whatever the issue is with that. I mean, we don't have any money for a stipend.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if they don't, maybe
Yeah.
they.
And we could probably ask NIPSCO for assistance again, I would imagine.
I would think Sharon did that for us. She was on the council
let's
then.
go. What about United? Either the foundation, would they have anything out there at all? Any kind of grant they could do that?
They might. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes she pulls money out of, somewhere. But we could certainly ask, Unity
Oh,
Foundation.
Unity Foundation, sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get on that then, okay.
Great. Okay. And then do you want the rest of what I did on that?
Yeah, let's
that-
just skip over to that. Yeah, so because you went
So I did a webinar too that Nancy was on, and they were they mostly want you to all the cities because we're in this cohort of these cities, which I should provide the list to you. And sorry, I don't have it, but these webinars are really all these cities just kind of checking in and giving updates about what they're doing on their plan and all that stuff, and so. And I happened to see her at this event where I spoke, and I, was apologizing for not, and I said, really, if I don't have a deadline, nothing happens. And so the next week she sends out a deadline. So it was for the community engagement part of our plan. And so I just threw something together, which I emailed to
Me.
others too, not just, I thought I emailed it to others too. I don't know, you didn't get it? It's, anyway,
I think so.
so it was just a spreadsheet and it kind of had I'm sorry, I should have brought it. But anyway, it was just about what we were doing. And I had the extravaganza on there and that we were going to, I put in there like I'd requested from Clarence, they're doing this neighborhood leader training program, and I requested that we be maybe put into the schedule so that we could come and talk to the class. I can't? You can't do it? Really? Oh.
We're pretty spare. There's so much we can do with that class, and we've had to turn away quite a few people because a lot of people would like to come and say something to the class.
Yeah.
We're trying to get people to learn how to organize, and then after they organize, then they'll have their own groups. You can go talk to them because there's so much that we can have with that class to be a whole year.
Oh,
so we only got so many hours to pack all the data in, but the whole thing is how to get people organized. So that's what we're trying to teach them. So yeah, we've had, believe it or not, a lot of requests from different groups that want to come, but it's
How many
tough.
Students did you get?
22.
22, very good.
Yeah, very good cross section of the city from all different wards.
Excellent.
Background, races, ages. So.
Excellent. All right, well, so that one won't happen, but I did put other ideas like that, and I said that we were going to report at the city council, regularly.
Yeah.
And Dahlia's going to be speaking at Green Drinks.
And
Andy's coming too to talk about
I'm smiling
birthday
and then hopefully
extravaganza.
Daisy too about the recycling, because I think those two things people can participate in and get right away involved.
You just want me to speak about the extravaganza at Green Drinks?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like, we're going to share it. I'm going to talk globally about this commission. You can talk about that. And Daisy can talk about a recycling program, which really could get people involved, I think. And the same thing, League of Women Voters is also requesting for me to speak, like, pretty close the same week, I think.
April, I think.
Yeah, in April. So, same thing if you guys are available, I'll let you know the dates. But yeah, just kind of get the word out there.
So those are two things that are happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
To get the word out.
I was just going to see.
LaPorte County League of Women Voters luncheon.
Lunch with the League in
and
April.
Green Drinks on the 19th.
And Green Drinks on the 19th.
At 6:30 at Shoreline Brewery.
Right, okay, so here's what I sent to Andy. Here's the things I said. Okay, so I said that we would schedule informational meeting at the senior center. We would work with students and teachers to develop a climate action resolution for the city, engage children in educational programming of the commission. We would appoint commission liaisons with local environmental organizations, engage organizations involved in supporting minority communities like Minority Health Coalition, NAACP, Commission on the Status of African American Males. We would appoint a commission liaisons with the ASW, it's the steelworkers, NIPSCO laborers, IBEW construction trades. We would provide educational programming for local businesses on sustainable practices via, I'm not sure what it says. We would provide educational programming for neighborhood leaders workshop. Apparently not. We would engage local churches, provide regular reports at city council meetings about commission activities, appoint commission liaison with local organizations such as PFLAG, Northwest Indiana Gay Straight Alliance. Those are the two I can think of. So then it was just kind of like the schedule, like when are you going to do it? So I put that in there. And then I put in the extravaganza at the library.
Well, it's good. Maybe you can share it again or send it to me and I'll share
It
it.
shows that I sent it to you, but, it's
Yeah,
probably
if you could send that out to all of us, it would
Will
be very
do.
helpful. Thank you.
So anyway, so that's what I put. And that was the first thing it's due, so I don't know if she's going to hit me with another deadline on something. But, okay.
All right. Well, that's good. So we're not behind on that, right? She gave you a deadline. You kind of turned something
I did it.
in.
I got it in the deadline. And then Andy actually attended that one. So I sent this in, but Andy actually attended that next webinar.
I did, and they were real big on getting press releases out for what was going on. I got a lot of press release. That's what I wrote down.
Okay.
Most of the cities spoke. about where they were in the process. I lost my voice and I'm just getting it back. I was sick a while ago. Everyone is okay. So I didn't speak a lot, but it seemed like we were on pace with some of the other cities. Some of them are ahead of us, of course, and then others are, hey, wait, what? So, you know,
that's my
I
impression
think we're
too.
making kind of progress there. And there were at least 10 other cities that I think participated in that webinar, and everyone just seems really positive, and a lot of people are moving with their city government. Some of the cities have a sustainability position on the city government. Some are really, really new. Some are the commissions too. So
Great.
I think we're kind of working off each other a little bit right now, and the bigger cities that have done more things.
I'll have to remember to send it to you because they send the invitations to these webinars to everybody.
We just need to add her.
So I'll have to add you to that list.
There's so much information
And
there.
they banked all of those, so you
Right.
can actually watch and listen to them after the fact. So you can go back to number 1 and work through all 8. I think there's 8
if you want.
at this point in time. But I think they're excellent. They're really
They are.
good. And the enthusiasm and the commitment out of all the people that participated in those, it's really evident.
Okay, awesome. Waste reduction, we're not going to have a report since Daisy's not here. Water Quality Committee, I could say we had our Trail Creek Watershed Partnership meeting yesterday. And one of the biggest topics was, of course, the lakefront erosion, the lake levels. So the Army Corps has told, I think South Haven in Michigan and whatever, that the lake could still be up 6 to 11 more inches. Which makes, this summer. So it makes the docks in question. I think theirs are already underwater and ours are very close to being underwater, which would close down the whole marina.
Wow.
So that's really concerning. Also, what we were talking about a little bit is that now, if you go to Hanson Park, the sidewalk is underwater half the times. And due to the high lake level, it's washing inwards. And so we've got to take a look at what we can prepare for having that lake water wash, into Trail Creek backwards, opposite the flow. And the third thing is, sanitary has an outfall not that far down. And it had, the outfall has to go down, for the treated sewage to go into the Trail Creek, and with these rising river levels, it's going. So, and Shannon also mentioned they did an installation in Winding Creek Cove. They put in a kayak launch with 4 different levels. It's there are 4 levels of stone. So depending on how high or low the river is, you can use either level. Well, it's at the top level right now. And then she did a restoration project where they could not finish putting the plantings in because it's underwater. She's part of a grant. They might have to close out the grant and see if they can plant later because
At Winding Creek?
yeah, they can't plant these things that's right now the whole place is underwater. And when she talked, I forgot who the granting member was, but they said you're not the only one with this problem. A lot of people are having that problem. So I think there's a lot of current things going on that not just Trail Creek but Lake Michigan, but they're related. Hey,
This is the hardest meeting for me to get to.
All right, well, you're here. Great. All right. So that was kind of my little update on at least the Trail Creek meeting. Dominique's not here.
I would just say, I think we need to take some action on that. This is the commission that should be putting together a report for the city council, I think, on that. Particularly with those serious implications for the marina and the parks, the city parks.
Well, Shannon's really on top of it, so perhaps we can work with her to kind of.
Oh, you think she's got it covered? We don't.
Well, no, but she knows what's going on. Well, no, I think we have to figure out what the good voice is to,
Maybe
kind of
could we
alert
have
people.
her come to the next meeting?
Yeah, we can invite her.
It was a nice presentation. I did make that one.
The Trail Creek
The Trail
Watershed?
Creek Shed, Watershed meeting. I did make that one.
That's not yesterday's meeting. I meant
No,
the
not
outreach meeting.
yesterday's.
Yeah, the outreach. Yeah.
Outreach one.
That was a good meeting. Yeah.
It was a good
All right.
presentation.
I will talk to Shannon and
Okay.
see if she's interested in.
Well, can I say something? If
yes.
it's that serious, wouldn't be probably better for Shannon to reach out or outreach to her to maybe do a summary report to the city council. If it's that serious, we have another meeting month to meet, and then what's the plan at that point? It's been 30 days, so if we think it's that serious, reach out to her. She can probably on the committee department head report do some kind of summary, not the full hour or whatever. But a 5-minute report to the council and here's some issues going on that we need to be aware of.
Because she is the one that writes the grants and things like that, and
So
Jeremy, he has like a standing position on the agenda in the city council, right, as a department head. Jeremy, Shannon's boss, Jeremy Keenitz.
right.
So,
Well, one of them could.
yeah, I mean, maybe she could do it in his place, I'm sure. But so
request time to be on there.
We probably need to get the information out to the community.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
But they have no budget for expenditures, so
Yeah.
they cannot have any match for any grants coming in. Just saying.
so
At the same time, if it's serious, something could be
Yeah.
done. So
I think
let's
so.
not wait
Let's be
2 months
creative.
later.
sure.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I think the council should be aware of what's out there, and
All
they
right,
decide
I will.
if there's money or not.
So would you like to ask Jeremy or Shannon to do a report for the city council?
Jeremy is
Superintendent.
Park and Rec.
Yeah, Keenitz, right.
Yeah, I can talk to him. He hasn't been to a meeting yet, but and I don't know if he's actually from what you just said. It sounds like there's some in-depth. I don't know if he's prepared to
Well, maybe
really
you
give
could.
something.
Well, it sounds like
You know,
Shannon
the
should,
person
right?
that's there,
Shannon.
that sounds like the person that can speak to
Shannon.
this right off the top of her head.
She's the assistant director.
She's the grant writer.
She's the
and
one.
whatever.
She's the one who
facilitator.
she's the one who comes to all the city council meetings.
Right. We're speaking of just the portion
The
of the
Rising-
part you were saying, or the rising that's
rising
causing the
water.
whole thing.
Yeah,
to
just
go.
impacts to city
on
infrastructure and
Trail Creek.
parks. Yeah.
It's an update. I'm
Yes.
not really asking for money. Just say, here's what's going
Information
on.
on
and here's what
yeah,
to be
what's
aware
going
of.
on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
think
city
that's
council should
important.
know. I mean, if all of a sudden nobody can put their boats in.
She's talking to the DNR Army Corps all the time, so she kind of knows what's going on.
There's
Yeah.
about 2 inches under the docks at B&E today.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Well, the issue of the drainage from the sanitation into Trail Creek, will she be able to speak to that? Or does
Just
sanitation?
generally, I mean, it's not a problem yet, but they're
Okay.
keeping an eye on it because they're going to have to put a lift station, of course. I mean, they're keeping an eye on it, but it's like we're not thinking about this high lake
Right.
level. Yes, it's tumbling homes into the lake, but there's also
Yeah, all these other implications. Right.
right.
I think what you if we're going to have a spot on the council meeting on the agenda that's coming up, what you just said is plenty for the council. I mean,
Yeah,
you could actually
so-
address that in yours and allow them to put together a serious something with some proposal to it. But what you just said is enlightening and eye-opening
Yeah.
for everybody. So actually, if we're going to be presenting to the council anyway, you can just say what you exactly said right now, and that's going to open everybody's eyes up right there, as opposed
Do
to
that.
having somebody else do a general,
Well, yeah, you just had Shannon come with you.
yeah, give them an opportunity.
No, she's the one that knows
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wants
where we
to.
are. Yeah. If I can't convince her to do it. All right.
Yes, right.
Okay, good.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So yeah, Dominique's not here. Grants committee. Do you have anything from grants?
No, it was kind of our policy to just kind of lay low for a while, and
So I did get this. The VW. So there's the Volkswagen mitigation plan. They're not up yet, but they say they're coming. They're going to announce those grants. So it sounds like we could probably apply for those, right?
right. So sanitary district, will do that. They've gotten some trucks already. And the school system got some propane buses using that money, and they're ready to apply again for more money. So
We just might want to just remind people about it.
okay, can you send it to me electronically, and then
I
I
can.
can, and then I'll forward it to sanitary and
And then there's more money available through the state of Indiana for energy efficient vehicles. They had millions of dollars that were left on the table in 2019. So they're encouraging communities and school systems to apply for money for green vehicles.
McNulty?
I know Dominique isn't here to report on that, but she has started moving forward on that. She's going to be speaking with Skylar in the planning department to find out what they're doing already. And laying plans to do what we can do to secure energy efficient vehicles.
It's interesting. And on that topic, I'll say I went to the South Shore Clean Cities event, and it was interesting. You know, there were cities. It was interesting. I thought that in South Bend, the city doesn't do their own transportation. They have a private company that does like 3 cities around there, and they were there, and Therese was there, Therese Duro from South Bend, and I talked to her about it to see if if she was satisfied with it, because I thought, well, that's an interesting idea, is to contract it out for someone who can apply for these grants. I mean, the city could too, but you could have, if there was more of a consolidated, area like let's say LaPorte and Michigan City would go together. And I talked to Kathy Luther over at NERPC about it. I think she's the director there. And she said, yes, they would love it. NERPC would love it if cities would become more consolidated, like you would have a county-wide, transportation company service, who would manage all of the public transportation for the towns in there. But she said, no towns will do it. The towns will not work together. She said, and it makes so much sense because the money goes by the county.
Easy, though. LaPorte and BC have worked together on certain initiatives, but you're talking long term where both mayors got to be 4 years out, because you have union contracts for each cities to negotiate and move out of, and then we're now part of a tri-city, tri-way partnership. And if you see in the county council last year, they refused to pay their portion. So I mean, it's a great idea, right? But you got to think 4 or 5 years out, because you got to get out of contracts and then plan to put together a new entity, skill local control. It's a whole lot to get there. It's a lot. So and I agree. That was my point too. That that it sounds like it just can't happen. But I still certainly wanted to plant the seed. There was a regional group that started one time. It didn't make it. It was Lake County and Porter regional bus system kind of faltered.
Yeah, when was that?
10, 12 years ago.
Oh yeah. So interesting.
So there was a try, and of course the biggest user was Lake County, but that's something to say can't be done, because a lot of the bigger cities, that's how they get the bus systems in place. It's county-wide. You're able to serve, across the whole county. And that's an issue for us right now, getting people to and from LaPorte, to and from PNW. We don't have a county-wide system.
Right.
So, because getting people from Michigan City to PNW is an issue. So that's why the two last administrations, LaPorte and Michigan City, got together with PNW to do that. And part of the issue was getting the county on board to help pay some of the cost. That's been an issue every time the money comes.
Did they stop paying it, or they decided to go ahead and pay it?
For 1 year, so we're
just
back there again this year to go fight that battle.
Yeah,
so it's so it's one of those things that doesn't make money, but it's a need.
Right.
And so
well, and it's
parks
still hard.
don't make any money, but it's a need.
Right.
Don't make money, but it's a need. So it's one of those community service government provide, but there's no money in it.
Right.
Public service.
And when people don't use public transportation, it's quite glaring. It's very apparent.
Yeah.
And I even asked, Therese Duro, she's the sustainability director for the city of South Bend, and I was like, so what do you think about this bus system? She goes, I don't know, I don't use it. So, it just, you can't.
I mean, a lot of cities are going to on demand, so the smaller buses and on demand. So using technology, using cleaner, butane gas or propane gas, and so then you do high demand areas. The only issue is that one senior citizen who lives in the middle of nowhere doesn't get the service. So there's pros and cons to that system.
Right. Well, and there's requirements apparently that that the public bus has to go by the public housing.
Exactly, because it's federal money,
facilities.
Federal project. Exactly.
And
so there's all those.
So that really limits your route flexibility. So anyway, I think that's all I learned there.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
All right.
The more you go into it, you realize there's lots of stipulations.
Right. It's very difficult.
Well, I think we need to keep talking about it, and then maybe something will kind of come of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought that was it was interesting to see that it was happening somewhere. This other.
Well, I think they're starting out with having more efficient vehicles. It would lower the costs, and then maybe going towards some kind of technology where you can have on demand within the cities, and then start connecting the two cities. Those are things that you can start doing now.
Yeah, and in LaPorte, they have all their city buses are propane.
They want
They're
propane.
propane.
LaPorte.
What did I say? Did I say LaPorte? I meant LaPorte, right? Yeah. So, although that guy got canned with the new mayor, the McClellan, McDermott, I can't remember his name. Nice guy, though.
Germany.
No, he's the mayor, right? That's the mayor. The transportation director I can't remember his name. But he was a very nice guy. But,
We're going to move it along.
Okay, sorry.
All right. We're going to go to Andy and tell us about the extravaganza, what you know so far.
Earth Day extravaganza is set. I met with Robin at the library. I turned in the paperwork the other day. We have both meeting rooms. They have 14 6-foot tables. There's space for about 20. So I'll ask around for a couple extra tables. We have confirmed. I will run through these quickly and give you a copy if you want. Confirmed Monday mornings. Local butterfly enthusiasts, LaPorte County Solid Waste, Dunes Learning Center, LaPorte County, Isaac Walton, State Park, National Park, Dr. Aaron Argelan, Save the Dunes, Northwest Indiana Urban Waters, Art and Science, Krieger Environmental Programs, City Parks, Master Gardener, Trail Creek Watershed, Upcycle / toy booth to build inventions and toys, a possible consumer booth, unofficial tree board and Potawatomi Autobahn. I just have to get the official from them. And then Indiana Humane and Shirley Hines. And they will all participate in some degree, either sending a person or information. I've also contacted IDEM, NIPSCO, County Parks, Ethel
Youth climate.
for the youth climate change, Kathy Sipple, Sierra Club, Hoosier Environmental Council, and I'm waiting to hear back from all of them. And I still need contacts for Friendship Gardens, Michigan City High School Environmental Team, possible local DNR, but since the state park was going to be involved, they are DNR as well, so I didn't contact local DNR yet, and NERPC. I think that's it.
Okay, your contact for NERPC would be Dominique.
And I was going to ask her today, and she's not here. So I will be emailing her.
And I sent you the name of the president of Friendship Gardens.
Yes, but I didn't have a contact information. So an email or something for that person if possible. Or I could just do research and dig it up online if no one has that.
They have a web page.
I'll just do that.
For the environmental team, you can email Nicole Messicar. You probably have her email, right?
Yes, and I have Dr. Aaron Argelan is on my committee for the Earth Day extravaganza. She's helped contact a few people, so I'll turn that one over to her. She did the state park and the national park.
Awesome.
Thank you. And this is
right.
Friendship Gardens.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So under new business, about the cohort, well, I guess we already had that. We embedded that into the greenhouse gas comment area, right? And for the people who came with us a little bit late, Laura Henderson is our new commission member. Like we have a replacement for Larry Zimmer, so Laura is our new member. And I think that's it. Let's go around it and see if anybody else has comments. Our commission, our council person, do you have any comments or anything? Yeah.
No.
Well, she's not at him. Then shouldn't you be next?
Deb,
No, because this was supposed to go under new business.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. She had something. We added something to the agenda. I'm so sorry. City council resolution. I'm sorry. Deb, go ahead.
So I had been approached at an event I was at, Northwest Indiana Climate Action something, and Jim Poyser, who runs Earth Charter, which is a statewide organization. He does an outstanding job down in Indianapolis working with kids on climate change issues, and he was encouraging us to have the city pass a resolution about the climate emergency, and that it be done with students. And so I contacted Shelley Deutscher, who is the STEM coordinator at Lake Hills, and Daisy, and Victoria Gray, who's the environmental science teacher at the high school, and Amy Hammond, who's the science teacher at Barker. She was the STEM person, but now she's a teacher. She's back to teaching. And so I heard from Victoria and Daisy and Shelley, who said, yes, we would love to work on that. And I did not hear back from Amy. But and I sent several templates, and sadly Daisy's not here, and Victoria. I invited them all to the meeting, and Shelley was
Parent
the only
teacher conferences today, I believe, was the thing.
one. Is it for which school?
Well, Daisy's, I don't know.
Oh, for middle school. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. So anyway, so I guess I would like to, see how we can facilitate their work, and we can hook you up with Jim Poyser too, who will help. But I guess I feel like we could be kind of their sponsoring.
And I'll have to say, Jim Poyser has been up in Michigan City and has spent time with Daisy's.
That's right.
Daisy Lee's class at Krieger Middle School.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, and he's happy to do it again.
That's happened. He's also said he's totally available for FaceTiming, via the computers with the students anytime they would like to do that. He also offered them the opportunity to speak with a scientist at IU Sustainability. So there's a lot of resources available to make it an exciting and engaging process.
Go ahead, yeah.
About 5 years ago, we applied for a grant called Project Connect, and we received it. It was to study climate change and bring the issue to our community's awareness. And at that time, our sixth graders researched different areas of climate change, and then they took their reports to the downtown, the community, like Channel 99 or whatever that one is now, Access, whatever.
Access Point.
It's changed names a couple of times. But anyway, they did some outtakes, and they did them online so that the community then was able to hear our sixth graders do that. So that was something that we did a while back as far as climate change.
Okay.
But
That's great.
it was a way to bring that awareness to different folks too. So this resolution, I'm not sure how, what you're thinking as far as asking the county
City council.
to.
So in other towns, student groups have, developed the resolution and brought them to the city council themselves and presented it themselves to city council.
Isn't that Chesterton one?
Chesterton just did one. Portage also did one.
So it was the high school students?
Those were high school students.
South Bend did one too.
Did they? The high school?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what, I guess, there's just any way we can facilitate that for you. Also, Jim was telling me about this group that's traveling across the country who is supporting those things, and they're doing like this cross-country tour, and that they might somehow be able to roll in, and do something. And the other option is to do a resolution for the school board. So some students are doing that too. So that's, that's an option as well.
So it'd be the whole group of high school down to elementary working on one resolution to present, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, and you could do it where you do the school board first and then go to the city council. And so I guess, for our purposes tonight, I mean, I'd be happy to volunteer if anyone else wants to volunteer too, just to be on kind of a committee to liaise with the school teachers. I mean, Victoria wants to be involved, as does Daisy anyway. So as long as the three of you are interested in working on it, I'd be happy to work on that committee.
Yeah, I've been liaisoning with Daisy Lee, so
Do you want to be on that
I'm
committee?
in the mix.
So
I'm in the
Nancy and I
mix.
could be on that committee. and we could.
How do you see the logistics of this, though? When would they meet? Like during like after school? Like how would we make it easier for the students to participate?
I mean, I think that if we met with the teachers and kind of, put together something that the teachers could take back to students, so you'd all have the same thing. And then you could, work with your individual students. And then I mean, at minimum, they would all come together at the school board meeting or the city council meeting.
Or
and
do some FaceTime, something maybe ahead of time.
And then, maybe y'all could participate in the presentation.
Yeah, and Daisy's taking the lead with this at Krieger, so I would very much want to see her.
Yeah.
So you got 3 months.
Right. And it goes
The world is streaming at that time.
yeah, presuming we'll still all be in school and everything. Yeah.
My recommendation is to look at what the other communities have done around us, resolutions, give it to the teachers. They can talk to the kids, see how they want to reward it, return it. Don't redo the wheel.
Right, we did that. So I did find templates and we sent it. So probably we just have to meet as the teachers and Nancy and I, and then and you guys can pick
And
one.
the kids have input on how they sworded them.
Yeah, just a word of caution. I don't want them to take it and copy and paste, because I would like to see them go through the process so that they understand that this is an important issue.
That's the teacher in her.
It's the way you enroll people into what they're doing. And if the kids have been involved in doing the research and they understand the impact it's going to have on our community, then they're going to buy into this, and they're the ones in the future that are going to see that this is enforced. It's going to be them. So, I'm always against just handing them the template and, here it is, pick out what you like and let's run with it. That's not the way to build community engagement.
Well, and hopefully those the Daisy students and the high school students, know a lot already, and
I wouldn't make that assumption.
yeah. Well, let's hope. Yeah.
Well, it's something to work towards. So our goal to get it done by the end of the school year.
Well, yeah.
Or get something done. Let's
Yeah.
get something done by the end of the school year, and we have some time in the summer to think about it. All right. Good.
So, is there anything else you wanted to share? Or?
No, thank you.
So, Shelley, do you know if those videos are still available that your students put together?
I don't think so,
don't?
but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
They had some technical issues when they were actually doing it, so they had to do it a few times. But we did send it to the people from the grant to show that we were doing it. So I don't know if those were saved anywhere or not.
But those could be really great engagement pieces, to send out to the teachers if they are still available.
Yeah. And any upcoming events?
We have our third STEM Family Night in April 20th. Potawatomi Audubon always comes to that event and sets up a table to do whatever. This time we're focusing on creativity and innovation, because I'm part of the Center for Creative Innovation also, and also Earth Day. So we're trying to put all of those things together. So we invite different groups from the community to set up tables, and some of the ones you were listing are on our list that come every time to set up their...
And where is this held?
Lake Hills.
Okay.
From 5:30 to 7, so you're all welcome to attend.
They're always super fun. Always have great activities.
We have activities in the gym for all the families to do together, and then we serve them food on the other side in the cafeteria, and then at the end we have some kind of a program for the parents too.
What's the date on that, Shirley?
April 20th.
Okay.
And then do you have your May event set yet?
No, but we're not going to do that every year. Last year we did it for our 10-year celebration,
Wow.
and so it's an outdoor event where we had probably tons of people, but also lots of community support, probably 40, 50 groups that came and set up tables and activities and things like that. So,
yeah, that was something.
And this is the first I'm hearing of your Earth Day extravaganza. I'm anxious to see what that's all about. So,
What's the date?
April 26th.
I've got 25th.
Or the 25th.
Oh, it is
I'm
the
sorry.
25th. Okay.
Saturday?
So
Yeah,
do
it's
we have
Saturday.
a Facebook event?
I was looking at a different day just now.
Yes, there's
because
a Facebook event. It's
I
on
forgot
the-
to bring up though about the event. If we start closing things, this will be something that gets canceled. It's a public event.
Right.
Do we want to consider postponing it to May? I would contact people and see if they're still available. Would we want to do like Earth Day in May? Yay! I'm cool with it, but I don't know
Man.
if that's something you'd.
Who knows how
I don't
long
mind
this is
sending
gonna go
emails
on,
to
or-
see if they would still want to join us later on a different Saturday. But I mean, 4-H, Purdue just shut down everything till April 30th.
Oh, April 30th.
April 30th. So, I mean, I'm not paranoid, but I am genuinely concerned and just to see if I should, if things start to shut down, if I should move forward with this to try for
Earth Day in May sounds kind
Earth
of
Day in
catchy.
May.
Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good.
Let's go with the
Then I'll just
reschedule.
try to go with
Okay.
the reschedule.
Yeah,
Okay.
just let us know.
Okay.
That sounds really good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, let's go around the table and have people, if you have any updates, I was going to ask Uncle Mac, anything?
No updates. I'm just welcome to the group. I thought you were part of the group last time when I was here. I was at the workshop, but welcome. I'm glad to be a part of this. It hasn't existed long. I haven't been here but 2 or 3 months myself. I am everything pro-child and children and education. I've worked in the grade schools myself, NAP school, and I used to substitute a lot over at Lake Hills years ago. So anything I can ever do in front of kids. I work at the steel mill, so I work a lot of hours. So I'm open for that anytime. If I'm not working there, I'm open to do that anytime. And I'm just looking forward to us to do some leading in visibly important areas. What our charter says that we should be doing, big things in health, housing, education, and some of the stuff we're talking about. I'm just looking forward to come off the paper and get on to legislation and get into the funding. So I really believe that that's what we're capable of, and do some big things that are recognized and noticed in the city. We've got the funding right here, so it's bad joke. And he could say the same thing, I'm sure. So I'm just looking forward to it, and that's all I had to say. It's a long race.
Anything else, Deb?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone is aware that, after all that work on lead paste paint remediation, the new mayor decided to give the money back. So that's pretty heartbreaking, and doesn't, bode well for our lower income families and renters. So there is that. Otherwise, I think I'm glad we're working on the lake level issue. I think that's going to be very impactful and something we should work on. I guess I don't have anything.
I was glad that when I can make it. I think as we move forward, I think it'd be key to educate city staff just on the issues and principles of long-term sustainability. As we look towards rebuilding the city and rebuilding parts of the city, just bear in mind that a lot of times when you're in a meeting, staff is deciding on projects, whether they're public or private or public-private, and so if they don't understand these concepts, then these kind of are left by the wayside. And because one of the good things about Business City, the stormwater department is all into this, so they can push a lot of these things moving forward. But we've got to make sure when it comes to planning, water, those are the big ones. They can impact it for the next 50 years when they decide something, and they'll take it to the council and they say yes, but if it wasn't implemented in the fine print, it gets lost. And so just want to make sure that as we talk about all these things, and it sounds great here at the meeting, but we need to make sure staff from the lowest level understand these things, because they're at the meetings, they're the ones writing the codes, so they're the one that implement these things. And so when it gets to council and mayor, they see the big picture, but it's in the fine print. I was going to make sure it's in the fine print, so just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, very good.
Excellent. announcements about 3 events. The first one I already mentioned was Dahlia will be coming to Northwest Indiana Green Drinks on Thursday, March 19th, 6:30 p.m., and that's at Shoreline Brewery. And she'll be talking about our Sustainability Commission, and she already said Andy's going to be there, and hopefully Daisy Lee will be there also talking about recycling. Monday.
Green drinks, is that beer?
You can if you
Okay.
would like. What beer? He's messing with me about green drinks. It's an international movement, actually. It's around the whole world, and it has the same name. So, anyhow.
So you're not thinking of canceling anything, huh?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I'm just throwing, it's all occurring to me minute to minute, like
Not yet.
everything that has to be canceled.
Not yet. Waiting for word from the LaPorte County Health Department and or Michigan City government. So.
Yeah.
Also, Monday mornings, beach cleanup is scheduled to begin the first Monday of May, which is May 4th. And they plan on running that through sometime in September. So every Monday morning, you may join us at the Washington Park Beach. The official kickoff of that event will be on June 1st. The Michigan City Park and Rec Department will be providing free water containers. As long as you RSVP to Shannon Eason in the Park Department, you'll be sure to have a water container that can be utilized. Also, they have put in a water filler down at the beach. So that's to encourage people to use less plastic items when they're down on the beach. So it will be a big announcement about that new feature down at the Washington Park Beach also. So RSVP to Shannon Eason. Her email is on the Michigan City website for people that are interested in joining us on June 1st, which is the first Monday. And then we have a workshop that's coming up.
What time was it at the beach?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
8 to
And it's
10.
always from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Faye. I knew I was missing something there. And then there's a workshop that's going to be on green streets. There's a public workshop, which is March 23rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to be at Krieger Memorial Hall. What this is about is looking at streets to be sure that they're friendly for everybody to use, from drivers to cyclists to pedestrians, you know, families that may be rolling their children in strollers, whatever. So this is a great opportunity. It's a workshop that's being put on by the EPA. If you're extremely interested in this topic, then there is an additional workshop that's happening the following day. And you do need to register for that okay, it's not on here. 2 workshops. Okay, I'm very sorry that...
There's 2 emails at the bottom, so I guess they can go
Okay,
there.
there's 2 emails at the bottom, yeah, so you can reach out to either of those people probably to get information on the second day. I also know that it's posted on the My Michigan City Facebook page, and it should be on the city website also. So, but I think this would be great for our commission to, anybody and everybody that's able to attend, because I know that the Transportation Committee, this was one of the things that, that we were looking at. And Dominique is actually taking over the chairperson's position for the Transportation Committee. And then I'll be taking over the chairperson for the Energy Committee. Since Larry came off the commission, we haven't had anybody working on that. So
The public workshop is March 23rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Kruger Memorial Hall.
Yeah, it's on the sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there was a second day that was a more in-depth.
Technical workshop is March 24th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Same location.
And I think it's
tucked in at the bottom here.
the second one is the one you need to register for. Tuesday, March 24th. Lunch and refreshments will be provided. And I do believe that's probably why they want you to register, so they can be sure to have enough food and beverages for that.
What is the Liberty Trail project? That's not the
That's
Chain
the
and
whole
Run
thing,
thing, is
Chain and
it?
Run and Coward
Oh.
Plaza, yeah. I don't know why they called it
And
that.
it's part of the the
Singing Sands. too.
shifting sands,
Singing Sands, yeah.
singing sands, the singing sands,
The whole trail system.
the whole
through-
trail system,
from
right?
Porter,
Michigan City
Michigan
has
City
a
that
very
connects.
Michigan City has a very significant part, and we have Phase 1 funded, which is going to be completed this summer. Phase 2 is already funded, which will be happening next summer, and I believe that they're looking for Phase 3 funding, which would happen the third summer. So we'll see. But this is important because it ties into a healthy lifestyle for all of our residents, people that have access to places to bike and run and walk. The whole community is healthier because of that. And also, it will bring in tourism dollars to Northwest Indiana and specifically to Michigan City. I lived in Missouri when the Katy Trail was being developed. And all of the communities along that trail benefited significantly from an economic standpoint. They saw more businesses, more restaurants, more bed and breakfast, hotels, everything blossomed along that particular trail. So when that trail's finished in Northwest Indiana, we can expect a similar type of economic surgence happening.
Yeah, and the good thing about this trail is because, if it's built from Chicago to Michigan, people will actually want to hit 3 states. And I've got colleagues right now who will put their bikes in the car and come to Hamilton and bike to Valpo and go through Stark and come back. So people, they come and spend the whole day biking. So, but imagine being able to leave from Chicago and get to Michigan and back. And so they'll stop in the ways. They'll stop in your downtown. They'll have a beer. They'll eat. They'll keep going. So yeah, it's awesome.
And they'll also check into the the places to stay.
Geocaching. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, so much.
You have anything else, Sandy?
Oh, no,
Besides
no.
that?
I went on and on.
All right, good. I've gotten an email. Somebody said here, they said, please consider support for municipal EV charging stations in Michigan City. As part of NICTE's plans for a 2-track, we'll get 3-level parking garage at 11th and Franklin, expandable to 5 stories. It says, wouldn't it be nice if Michigan City could convince NICTE to install some EVs, like electric vehicles, start charging stations there? So just a thought, someone's kind of putting that into our mindset.
There's a
Goes
number
back
of
to
them,
Starfield.
the Tesla
Starfield.
charger stations at Meyer. I
Well,
just
then they
noticed
get
them
contracts.
a week or 2 ago.
But I'm saying, like, that would be nice at the
Right.
station.
Right.
Well, and like the
All right, second thing, there was a spring, here, I have both sides. Are you going to talk about that?
No,
The spring tree planting event, says join Mayor Perry, the Michigan City Parks Department, Forestry Department, Tree Board, and NIPSCO as we kick off the spring planting season by planting new trees in Washington Park. So it's at Fetters Alley, Saturday, March 28th, 9 a.m. Attendees can help plant trees, learn about tree care, and explore upcoming events and volunteer opportunities.
Can I take a pic of that?
You can have a copy of it.
I'll leave that
How about
extra.
that?
Okay.
So I'm just kind of promoting that.
Yeah.
And a third thing is, I am kind of very interested to be attending the SISMA Invasive Species and Watersheds Conference. I just got an email saying that they're a little bit iffy about having it because it's in Noblesville and they've had some, So we're like on alert that it may be canceled. And I never remember what SISMA means, but it means Cooperative Invasive Species Management Areas. So that's what SISMA stands. So like it's a conference, it's a statewide one, and it helps. It's watershed related, so it's all my favorite things. So I hope to get to go.
When is
It's
it?
March 26th.
Oh,
So it's coming up. So
they canceled already.
no, they didn't cancel. They're saying we're looking at it. Be aware. Yeah, So that was my little announcement. So thank you. Hey,
I don't have anything.
all right.
So I would ask our new commissioner to think about which committee you would like to
Okay,
work on.
you just announced some committees that people were newly assigned to.
It's on the, did you have an agenda?
Did you have an agenda?
Because it's noted on there already, the people who are not, on the other side.
On the other side.
But she could make
By
her
the
own committee if
The
she
B,
wants.
one,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, yeah.
But you can do another committee. I mean, she may be more interested in green space and parks and things like that. I mean, like, they're not solid. We just made these up and we're kind of focusing our attention on certain things. So she could join a committee or she could think
And
about a new one that will work.
What I've been trying to encourage also is to focus on the top 3 items that AJ identified that we could have significant impact on.
Which are?
And the one would be the energy. Okay.
So residential energy.
That would be residential energy, commercial energy,
solid waste, transportation.
And also the NIPSCO transition.
Is that part of energy?
Yes, that's part of energy. And then waste reduction, that's where the recycling comes at. We're sending an inordinate number of tons to a landfill in Michigan for the size of our community here. So I know Daisy Lee's doing a great job of coordinating that committee, and that includes recycling, composting, and all of those things that would reduce the amount of garbage and trash that we're sending out of our city. And then the transportation was the other hot item as far as a significant way for us to reduce our carbon emissions footprint. Those were the top 3.
And we certainly would invite you to join a committee if you would like. We would love to have other people on these committees if you're interested. I know you're busy, but if you're interested.
It's an interesting place because a lot of tie-ins to what we're doing.
That's right. So Andy is the chair of our Education and Engagement Committee.
That's me, the coughing one.
All right. I think we've had a good meeting, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Can I forgot one thing, just to put it on people's radar, and it goes with the rising lake level, is I have been throwing out to Heck and Save the Dunes and others about the fact that in front of NIPSCO on the north side, they have coal ash ponds. That's the stuff they take out of the scrubber. The really heavy metals and terrible stuff, and they store it there in a coal ash pond. The only thing separating that from Lake Michigan is an old, rusty, falling apart seawall. And so I have asked several people, does this not seem like it's a problem? Considering that the lake level is rising and sloshing probably over the seawall. But no one is answering me, so I'm not sure.
I did talk to someone from NIPSCO about that. They claim that's not a coal ash pond on the north side. They said it's, I forgot what the word they used, but it's where they put water that they use for cooling, and then it's waiting, and then it goes into but it's not coal ash. That's what they told me that pond is not.
Well, that's the first time I've heard
And
that.
I was also assured in a meeting I had with them that they're no longer storing coal ash there. With the new scrubber unit that they put in, that there is no coal ash waste anymore for that facility. Okay, so the ponds that are there are not being added to.
Okay.
So anyway,
maybe.
that's the intel I have.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, maybe that's why nobody is recalling me back.
All right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. See you next month. We hope if everything's not shut down.